the Hungarian Parliament. The building, built between 1885 and 1904, is 265 metres long, 123 metres wide, and with a dome reaching 95 metres above the Danube. In the 17th century, the Turks had built a bridge across the Danube which rested on 70 pontoons. The first permanent bridge was the Chain Bridge, built between 1842 and 1849. The Royal Palace complex is impressive, and the site dates from the 14th century, when the royal court was transferred here from Visegrad in the north. The ornamental gateway dates from 1903. The equestrian statue marks the success of Prince Eugene of Savoy in his ultimate victory over the Turks in 1697. Although it's officially called the Church of Our Lady, this church is better known as the Matthias Church, after the Renaissance King Matthias. It was the first church on Castle Hill and was begun by the 13th century king, Bela IV, and enlarged by Matthias in the 1470s. During the Turkish occupation, the church was converted into a mosque. Another landmark on the edge of the old town of Buda, which once was defended by different guilds, is Fishermen's Bastion, which was built in 1895 at the spot where the Fishermen's Guild once looked after the defences of the town. From Gillet Hill is an amazing panorama of the Danube and the two sides of the city of Budapest. The citadel was built between 1850 and 1854 and once housed 60 cannons. In front of the citadel is the 14-metre tall Liberation Monument, set up by the Russian army in 1945. It was originally meant to honour the son of Miklos Horthy, who disappeared at the Eastern Front in 1943. Alongside Gillet Hill, named after the 11th century Bishop Gillet thrown into the Danube by a mob opposed to Christianity, is the Gillet Hotel. Inside the hotel are authentic Turkish baths, established during the Turkish occupation of Budapest. The magnificent St. Stephen's Basilica, where construction began in 1851 and finished in 1905. It contains the mummified right hand of King Stephen in the Chapel of the Holy Right Hand. Along Andrassy Boulevard we come to both the Franz Liszt Museum, where he lived, and the nearby Academy of Music, which he founded. Heroes Square is the site where the Magyars first settled in 896, and where 1,000 years later this massive square was created. On one side stands the Museum of Fine Arts, featuring international art from antiquity through to the 20th century. On the opposite side stands the Palace of Art, which is Hungary's largest exhibition hall.
Yes, come on, Mike. Waltz time. It's easy, Mike. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Waltz, waltz. Play for me. Play. You could play the cymbal, couldn't you? We in Vienna again?
Okay, everybody go around.
You may approach.
Okay, off we go. 1, 2, 3,
You look like you're boot scooting.
The State Opera House on Andrassy Boulevard opened in 1884 and was built to rival opera houses in Paris, Vienna and Dresden.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
It's a Strauss t-shirt.
No, we wouldn't do that to you.
Personally signed. Thank you. That is. And a t-shirt.
And a t-shirt.
Now,
Yes.
I have to wear this, of course. Thank you. That is fabulous.
It's got the motor racing one at the end.
Thank you.
Now, Mike, could you just hold the photograph of Marla up for a moment to the group? Because even though you were joking that it was personally signed, there is actually an inscription on the rear of the photograph, so you don't need to take it out because I've just written down the words that are inscribed there. I was really impressed. It says, "Dear Mike, thank you for your nice words about my music on your 2011 2MBS Romantic Euro Tour. I've been watching you and I thought you were just wonderful. Kind regards, Gustav." And I noticed there's a postscript as well. It says, I never quite understood Strauss either.
There's another one in the back actually. It says, "Go home," the sign, "Go home." Jeanette said it so well that we've all learned from each other, we've all been touched by it, we've all taken another step in music. And it wouldn't have been possible, of course, unless the whole thing had been organised well.
Yes.
It goes without saying, obviously. Every time you come to this point, and each of the 4 times I've been away with Les and Jay, I always remember that I've got to prepare anything to say. So it's always sort of off the cuff, but it's always sincere because these guys go to a lot of trouble, as I'm sure you appreciate, not just what's obvious, but what isn't obvious as well.
Thank you.
I propose a toast to Les and Jay for making this so successful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
It's always toasting when I'm videotaping.
Can I mention something that, you know, we've talked about the music input, but something I just was blown away by were the presentations from Les on the places we went to. And it's not what you usually get on a coach. It was the small places and you know, castles that were nearby you've never heard of. It just gave a window into the places we were going. So, and Les, you've got the most beautiful voice. So.
It'll work every time, flattery. Thank you. Thank you, Rhonda. That's very nice. And thank you all. I mean, you've all said such nice things on an individual basis.